sacrifice of school. Good morning. Good morning, seniors and awards recipients, and good morning to everybody who's watching in advisories this morning or from home. Welcome to our awards day. I thought maybe I'd start with a few logistical things since this is a different kind of awards day than we've done in the past. I'm really delighted to see so many of you here in person in the SCHIF, this great new building that we have that in some ways we're just beginning to be able to use again. And I'm also delighted that we're able to be joined by the other students and faculty members in their classroom, as well as joined by parents and families at home. So a few kind of logistical points about how this morning will work. Speakers who are primarily faculty members and a few student government members are welcome to take off their masks when they're presenting, but then I'd ask everybody to put their masks back on before you interact with any of the students who are coming up. If you're called up for an award or to be recognized, please come onto the stage from this side and we'll have you come to the center. We have presents or certificates or awards for the recipients, so we want to make sure to give you those and to recognize you here on stage where you'll be visible to everybody else at home or in advisory. For the juniors who are out there, either the juniors who are here in this space and also juniors who are in advisory, at the end of the ceremony, I'd ask all of the juniors to come down to the SCHIF, to come to the theater classroom where we have something to have you present to the seniors as they exit the building. So I'll remind you of that towards the end, but again, juniors will come down to this building, the SCHIF, at the end of the event. So I think that's the logistical parts of things. So again, I want to thank and welcome everybody. It's been a really challenging school year, a really different school year, but also I think a really important one, and one in which we've persevered and we've worked together and we've really made it as successful as it could possibly be. And we're here to recognize today a series of students who have succeeded in one way or another. They've excelled in one or more areas of school life. But while we're here to recognize individual students and while we'll have individual students up on stage, this isn't really an individual event. It's really a community event. These awards represent our shared values as a school, and so I'd like everybody to think of today's recipients as representatives. They've written large the qualities that we're all working to develop in ourselves: commitment and empathy and intellectual curiosity, kindness, service to others. So as you hear some of your peers recognized today, please take pride in their accomplishments and congratulate them, and see if you can identify in them a quality that you'd like to continue to cultivate in yourself. I know that our recipients, if they were able to give an Oscar-style acceptance speech, would want to thank all of the people who have helped them in life and who have helped them get to this moment and to this stage. So I'd like us to kind of collectively thank two groups of people. First of all, the parents, who can't be here today but are here watching. Maybe we could give a round of applause for the parents. And to the teachers, some of whom are here and some of whom are off in advisory locations, if we could give them a hand as well. And so I hope that each of you, whether you're receiving an award or whether you're cheering on your peers and classmates, take some time today to thank the people who have helped you this year. Thank your friends, thank your parents, thank your teachers. There's a lot, really, in a difficult time to be thankful for this year. And so on with the Awards Day program. And I'd like to start, before turning things over to Mr. Francis, with the Ad Summum Cup. This honor goes to the class with the highest number of students on the merit and honor roll. I'm going to hold this thing up. Right. Here it is. And who gets it this year? With the home court advantage, the seniors. Congratulations, seniors. Francis.
Good morning. My name is Nick Francis. I am the Director of Experiential Learning, and I'm going to award a concentration to two seniors. The goals of the Experiential Learning program are to help students understand themselves, to help students identify strengths and intrinsic motivators, and to help students pursue their interests. The idea behind a concentration is to recognize students who have pursued an interest to a deep and meaningful level. It's very important to understand that we are rewarding the journey as opposed to any specific outcome or score. I could talk for a long time about both of these students, but I promise not to do that. They've both met certain requirements, and they've done a lot more than I'm able to share, but I will keep it brief. I'm going to start with Andy Yang. Andy, for his concentration in medical exploration. Andy was just 5 years old when he started thinking about becoming a doctor. He had a problematic shoulder that would often dislocate, and so he was frequently in the emergency room, grateful to the docs who would correct the situation. Andy wanted to be like those doctors. In middle school, he found a love for math and science and problem solving. A future as a physician seemed to make sense. To learn more about the field of medicine, he volunteered for 120 hours at Bethesda North as a patient escort. The brief interactions with patients in this role were not enough for Andy, so he moved on to serving at the Blue Ash Hospice. In Andy's words, the experience at the hospice was, and I quote, the most transformative experience of my high school career. This is where his idea about pursuing medicine was confirmed. He continued to explore the field with college courses from Northwestern University, the TAP MD program, a national leadership conference on medicine, shadowing a surgeon, and as a summer research intern at UC College of Medicine. Andy will pursue his dream of becoming a doctor at Brown University in their 8-year program in liberal medical education. Congratulations, Andy. Our second concentration goes to Faith Haggerty for concentration in community engagement. When Faith applied for the cadet program at the Milford Community Fire Department, she didn't really know where this would lead. After hours of training and real-life calls, she now sees a clear path forward. The cadet program included various training modules and riding in ambulances and on fire trucks. These real-world experiences started to influence Faith in a powerful way. As she said in her concentration reflection paper, and I quote, "The first serious call began the big change in my life. That call was for a stroke, and Faith found a role in helping those suffering. At that moment, she decided she wanted a career that would involve helping people in some way. And then came the call to a dumpster fire. Faith found herself actually helping to control the fire, and in her words, quote, my brain screamed, yes, this is it. Faith knew she wanted to become a firefighter. All of this led Faith to completing a Firefighter 1 class and then an EMT class. She has spent countless hours outside of school, taking classes, volunteering at the fire station. She has been challenged both physically and mentally and overcome all of it, earning respect and winning accolades along the way. One example came during ladder training. Faith's ability to climb and get in and out of windows earned her the nickname Spider Monkey. Faith, we are excited to recognize your efforts serving your community. Congratulations.
All right. I am actually super excited about Mr. Bolton's idea of the Oscar nominations and the awards. I'm really actually even more super excited to see what kind of song Trey would pick to get people off the stage from talking too long. I think that would be fantastic. I'm here. I am Jason Kanar, and I'm here to present the Andrus Art Award. This year, we are delighted to give the Andrus Art Award to a student who exemplifies the qualities of creative thought and expression. She is a gifted artist who displays her enthusiasm and eagerness to try new processes and media. Her kindness and willingness to lend a helping hand have been much appreciated, as has her ferocious work ethic and dedication to her craft. Whether she is throwing pottery on the wheel with an injured hand, mentoring other students, or experimenting with different glazes during a free bell, she is a powerhouse in the art department. For these and many more reasons, we are proud to present the Andrus Art Award to Annabelle Kleinwacher.
Good morning. I'm Tina Kuhlman. I'm the head of the Fine and Performing Arts Department, and I'm here to present the Alumni Fine and Performing Arts Award. This year's Upper Fine Arts Award goes to a senior who's excelled in visual art, instrumental music, and theater. In all three disciplines, he shows a high level of commitment, patiently toiling over his work and quietly striving for excellence. He takes on the most challenging projects and never hesitates to jump in and take risks outside of his comfort zone. This senior is consistently gracious and good-humored, making any classroom a better place. In music, for instance, as tradition dictates, one brave saxophone player is called upon to play the baritone, which is the most musically lethal instrument. It takes a special soul to handle that instrument and to tame it, and he does it through determination and power. In theater, he comes to each rehearsal prepared as either a writer, a director, or an actor, but always completely focused on what will benefit the overall group, the total ensemble of student players, writers, directors, and technicians. He does this naturally, without effort, every day. Most importantly, this student brings kindness and selflessness to every creative situation. And this encourages us all to not only take creative risks, but most importantly, to take those creative risks while taking great care of those around us. For we are only as good as when we are unified. This senior will take this approach to life and work in whatever field he chooses, and those he works with will always benefit from his presence and spirit. The 2021 Seven Hills Upper Fine Arts Award goes to senior Kurt Drath.
Good morning, I'm Mr. Rising, music teacher. This year's Instrumental Music Award goes to an outstanding and skilled musician. Through long-term commitment, this young man has shown tremendous musical growth and whose devotion and hard work have significantly contributed to the program's success. Though this description easily could be applied to most senior musicians, I think it's important to recognize the accomplishments and consistency of one player in particular. Matt Colson has been part of the instrumental program for 7 years. Can you imagine having the same teacher for 7 years? I think Matt would agree that we've had our ups and our downs and have not always seen eye to eye, due to the fact that I am just a little bit taller. Unfortunately, many of you don't know that beyond being a solid bass player, Matt loves to study and dissect the musical works of some of civilization's greatest composers: Beethoven, Mahler, Wagner, Lil Baby, Lil Wayne, Medium Wayne, basically all the Waynes, and Anton Bruckner. Over the years, Matt has also challenged himself to learn various instruments, not an easy task. Matt thought it was important to know the instruments firsthand when writing for them, as he has spent countless hours composing and arranging. Not only has Matt been one of the pillars in the jazz band, but he has also from time to time helped out the symphonic ensemble, simply motivated by the desire to play, and in my book, that's about as awesome as it gets. Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones said, "Music is a language that doesn't speak in particular words. It speaks in emotions. And if it's in the bones, it's in the bones." Matt, music is in your bones, and a heartfelt thanks for sharing your musical voice and willingness to take some risks along the way. Congratulations, Matthew J. Colson, Esquire.
I'm just going to stand here and fill for a minute because I know that Mr. Tatum is coming down and he wants to be able to present this award because apparently it's filled with awesome jokes that I can't pull off myself. So I'm just here kind of saying, here he comes. Trey Tatum.
Sorry, I fell asleep. Okay. Hi, everybody. It's crazy to think I just worked on my last play. That's a thing Elise said to me last week. And the statement had this feeling of finality. I'm done with theater. I'm moving on to engineering. Full stop. Hard turn. And if that's the case, then at least what you've left behind is a high bar of excellence for others to meet. A brilliant problem solver, a joyful presence, a keen eye, a good ear. In 4 years of running rehearsals and calling shows and building sets, you have worked tirelessly for others, shying away from the spotlight, seeking out ways to help. In your time here, it has often been more common for a student to shout your name when there's a problem than mine, or Stephanie, or Mark's. In your time here, there hasn't been a challenge you didn't meet, or a set of expectations you didn't exceed. But you've finished with all that. Done with theater. Full stop. Hard turn. You're moving on to engineering. But this is what I hope for you. I hope you discover that you've actually been midstream this entire time. I hope you discover that there is as much storytelling in engineering as there is problem solving in theater. I hope the accolades you've garnered here are nothing but a glimmer of the accomplishments that lie ahead for you. I hope you discover that the things we love stay with us from one adventure to the next. And so, instead of "I'm done, full stop," I'd like to suggest an alternative. You've already started. Full speed ahead.
Hello, I'm Trisha Hoare representing the English department. The English department would like to recognize a student who might find herself a little surprised to be winning this award. Not because she's not deserving, but because she's not looking to win. Though not bound for the tomes of English majors next year, she's a natural literary scholar. She is a clear-eyed critic, probing and often original in her interpretations. She writes papers titled Catching Selfishness in the Plague and Unexpected Heroes in the Grapes of Wrath. Spoiler alert, she doesn't think Ma Jode is a hero. A shocking argument, it's true, but so compelling was her analysis that I found myself almost agreeing. Almost. In class, she leads discussion with informed insight and impassioned appeals, and she misses almost nothing. As a writer, she has flourished these past 4 years. Her prose is controlled, precise, and sophisticated, but not easily so. She works diligently at her craft, measuring every nuance of language and employing the right word or turn of phrase for the job. And all of this and more came together in her senior independent research paper, a paper titled Lost Heroes, Greek Tragedy in the Novels of F. Scott Fitzgerald. Rather than write about the easier approach to Fitzgerald, which the corruption of wealth and the mythology of the American dream, Grace wanted to turn her attention to the male protagonists and argue that they are tragic heroes of the jazz age. Her research and her analysis approached graduate-level work. At one point in the process, Grace confided in me that she was actually enjoying writing this research paper, a paper that usually inspires dread and fear in all who take AP English Literature and dissuades some, like Emma Cohen, from even thinking about it. She thought about it, she took it. Don't worry, Grace Aria, your secret is safe with me. For these reasons and many more, the English department proudly presents the 2021 Award for Excellence in English to Grace Aria.
Good morning. I'm Mark Byrice. I'm here with Meredith Brown from the English department. And before we get on with the business of recognizing student achievement, I would like to pause briefly and recognize faculty achievement. Meredith is going to be joining the Seven Hills Math department next year. And I just wanted to take a moment to recognize the fact that she has over probably about 2 decades, 23 years, has taught nearly every class in the department. She has mentored at least half of the department, and she has sent hundreds of freshmen successfully on the path of their upper school careers. So I'd like to just take a moment and recognize Meredith for all that she's done for us. So the next award was earned in less than 23 years. The Kathy Richardson Award is given to a freshman who has shown promise in writing, creative or analytical, and whose enthusiasm for the discipline of English has been exemplary. This year, we're going to be recognizing 2 students. The recipient of this year's Kathy Richardson Award for Analytical Prose writes essays that seize on the complexities within literary works. No forcing a simple answer down the throat of whatever play or novel or poem she is writing about. No settling for easy answers. No quitting before the miracle happens. This year, she really worked her essays until she could account for, in the Odyssey, the fact that men see the ideal woman as a helper and caregiver, but they suspect women of holding them back. Until she could account for, in Midsummer Night's Dream, the, quote, messy and bewitching nature of love. Until she could account for, in The Roundhouse, all those unanswered questions about justice. Taking on these complicated topics requires patient, layered analysis and graceful prose. Not a problem. She unpacks the text and comes up with elegant arguments. Her writing style is witty and sharp. She has the patience of a gem cutter working to get the critical angle just right to reveal color and sparkle. She edits and revises until she makes each important sentence, well, sparkle. Her writing speaks for itself, but it bears mentioning that her critical essays won her 2 Scholastic Prizes, one of them top honors. Only 4 students in the entire region accomplished that feat, and she was the only freshman to pull it off. Please join me in congratulating 2021 Kathy Richardson Award recipient, Kaya Park.
Mr. Byrice tricked me. I did not know that was going to happen. I am here to award the second Kathy Richardson Writing Award, not in order, just happens to be a number, which is focused on creative writing, although the student just as easily would deserve an award for critical writing. Precise, introspective, and wise. This thoughtful young scholar has a mind and a writerly voice beyond her years. Regardless of whether the task is crafting an analytical essay, a personal reflection, or a poem, her word choice is vivid and exact, her tone measured, and her insights arresting. A villanelle about desserts, an open-form poem about midnight and sleep, or a critical analysis of a Shakespeare play or a memoir. In all these endeavors, this student employs imagery, alliteration, and varied sentence and line length to convey her vision. While the student's own work ethic and natural talents leave most of us far behind, you would never know it from her demeanor. She is a good listener and a kind and respected counselor of her fellow readers and writers in class. Even her 6th grade Wednesday homeroom study buddy, an aspiring novelist herself, knows that Gabrielle Walker is an editor she can trust. Gabrielle, the author Miguel de Cervantes, once wrote, "Believe there are no limits but the sky." It's actually on a necklace I'm wearing today. You weave words and ideas together beneath a limitless sky. We cannot wait to see what heights you will reach. Congratulations on winning the Kathy Richardson Award.
And going forward, if we could just ask recipients to come all the way onto the stage and then exit on that side, please.
Hi, I'm Dan Plifke here from the History Department, here to award the best award, the History Award. This year's History Award goes to Dhruv Mahajan. Dhruv distinguished himself during his time at Seven Hills as a creative and thoughtful history student. He's quick to make clever historical analogies and to see patterns. He thrives in historical simulations, leading discussions, or embodying historical characters. His work often possesses creative flair and vivid prose. He's also unabashedly a history lover whose sophistication in history nearly is unmatched. His AP European History notes, which he organized and posted online, have helped countless students. He's thrived in our most difficult history courses here at Seven Hills and has just about maxed out our history electives. He even accomplished this year the most impressive independent study the history department's seen in quite some time, reading and synthesizing about 10 challenging books on the history of modern imperialism and engaging in high-level discussions about them. Unsurprisingly, he's off to be a history major next year and will no doubt thrive in any pursuit that requires dedication, creativity, and critical thinking. Congratulations and best of luck, Dhruv.
I'm Lenore Horner, and at the moment I'm wearing my math hat. You've spent 4 years diligently cultivating your understanding of mathematics and making yourself an ever more adept mathematical learner. You have set high goals for yourself. You've willingly sought out teachers' suggestions on how to improve, always taking to heart what they say and implementing their thoughts in ways that make sense for your learning style to improve your understanding of the complexities of mathematics. You have never been shy of mathematical curiosity, nor of hard work. In addition, you have built up a clear perception of your own minute-by-minute understanding as you have extended yourself deeper and deeper into the mathematical thinking and a facility for asking astute questions about the whys and the wherefores of mathematics at just the right moment for your classmates, for yourself, and often for me. Wes Gardner, it is with great pleasure that the Mathematics Department confers on you the 2021 Mathematics Award. Another one of my hats, this time's the physics hat. You've thrown yourself with great success into figuring out how to make physics make sense to you. You've worked intensely all the way through to the very end of the year towards a more perfect understanding of pretty nearly everything all at once. That's the particular joy of watching you. You want to understand it all, and you go after everything with unabated enthusiasm and energy. You've seen how breaking big ideas and projects up into smaller pieces can help you learn to grasp new ideas without ever letting go of your broader vision of where you want to end up with all of it. You have great patience with yourself when your understanding is incomplete, but always strive to comprehend more deeply and more broadly. Electricity, thermodynamics, torque. You're happiest puzzling at all of them and striving to make them work for you. Kevin Shao, it is with great pleasure that the Science Department confers on you the 2021 Physics Award.
Hello, I'm Bryce Carlson, representing the Science Department to present this year's Biology Award. The best scientists are deeply curious, hardworking, and relentless. They have more questions than answers and seek to understand complexities that others miss. This student has demonstrated all these attributes and more this year in biology. Over the course of several independent investigations, he has repeatedly demonstrated an ability to manipulate the scientific method to suit his own highly original and thought-provoking questions with real-world implications. These include manipulating the oxygen and carbon dioxide content of air to test the impact on cellular respiration in plants, or using spreadsheet software to construct a population genetics model of coevolution with variable natural selection pressure driven by predator-prey dynamics. Or, at the height of COVID-19, this student used published genetic data, an online database, and analytical software to study the evolution of coronavirus spike proteins used for host cell adhesion and infection. For his intellectual curiosity, maturity, and commitment to academic excellence in biology, I'd like to congratulate Manan Vij as the recipient of this year's Biology Award.
Hi, I am Jen Torline on behalf of the Science Department, here to present our Chemistry Award. The Chemistry Award recipient this year is a junior who has excelled in not only conquering a rigorous curriculum, but has brought a level of curiosity and joy each day to our classroom. You were always well prepared for class, a frequent participant in class discussions and lab work. You achieved much success not only in the classroom, but beyond, earning one of the top regional scores on the United States National Chemistry Olympiad exam. What made this all the more admirable is that you were joining us every day via Zoom in the middle of the night halfway around the world. Your keen questions during class or during outside calls showed the joy you found each day and each unit in delving into the complex nuances of chemistry. Even though you would be seated next to your classmates on that swivel stand most of the year, you were as much an integral part of our class as those seated in room 112. This is a testament to your wonderful energy, personality, and perseverance in this unique year. On behalf of the Science Department, I am pleased to present Angel Leong with the Chemistry Award.
I'm Marcus Twyford from the computer science classes and also the science department. This year marks the start of a new Seven Hills Award in computer science, a study that at its core, the art of programming, a pursuit of functionality and precision. Computer science also includes the larger concepts of problem solving, big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and more. Requiring both an insatiably curious and persistent mind for solving problems and a deeply human perspective for understanding the ethos of the discipline, computer science is a broad and expanding science. This year, we recognize two individuals for their efforts and contributions to the study and to the department. The first recipient flew through both introductory courses as a freshman and took AP Java in their sophomore year. With a thirst for learning more and wanting to help others, they helped create a new program model where more senior students tutor other students taking Computer Science 1 and 2. This TA model was an innovative step in mastering material by helping others, giving them opportunities to step up as leaders in academic settings, and supporting and inspiring other students to find the fun and joy in coding. Our first computer science TA and the first recipient of the Seven Hills Computer Science Award is Lucas Wall. In 283. The second recipient of the Computer Science Award is a student with a curious mind for solving deep problems and pushing their knowledge and understanding of computer science far beyond the current curriculum. Some of their work included writing their own compiler, studying concepts like Turing Complete, and building an 8-bit computer with integrated chips, wires, and breadboards. Though their work often went beyond the scope of the AP curriculum, and sometimes the knowledge of his own teachers, they still stopped to help some classmates on their projects as well. Congratulations to Jonathan Guy.
I'm Ann Greep, and I'll be presenting the 4 World Language Awards. I'm going to start with Chinese. This student's passion for learning Chinese started at a very young age. When he first joined Seven Hills as a middle school student, he spent lots of his after-class hours studying extra Chinese with a teacher so he could skip to a higher level. This enthusiasm is extremely rare and impressive for such a young learner and shows his dedication to this language. He has been a true silver lining in this difficult year. He values each learning opportunity and actively participates in all lessons. He is not afraid to show leadership and help those who may be struggling. He is always positive, polite, and courteous to peers and the teacher. He never complains about an assignment or the amount of work required of him. One of his greatest strengths is his maturity, which allows him to have impactful conversations about topics discussed in class. For all these reasons and more, Owen Foster is our choice for this year's Chinese Award. This year's French Award recipient distinguished herself every year in French, but nowhere more so than in French 5 honors, where students read poetry, drama, and prose from the Middle Ages to the 20th century. Whether responding to a homework prompt or crafting a detailed literary analysis, this student expressed thoughtful insights in impeccable French. Many teachers save one student's work to grade last because they know a treat awaits them at the bottom of the pile. That was this student's work. One of the greatest joys for a language teacher is to see students make connections between literature and their personal lives. After considering each author's viewpoint, the student countered with her poignant take on topics ranging from experiential learning, the advent of modern advertising, the pursuit of social status, and authentic communication and connection. In her recent analysis of a poem by Jacques Prévert, she underscored how essential it is to focus on life's tender beauties that so often pass unnoticed. Day in and day out, from middle school French to French 5 honors, this student provided her classmates and teachers with countless beauties. These did not pass unnoticed. Congratulations, Meg Wan. This year's Latin Award recipient is distinguished by her exceptional talent and tremendous dedication to Omnibus Romanis. She works assiduously, though with unabashed happiness, to untangle Caesar's intricate syntax, to recognize the lilting verse and historical allusion in Virgil's epic, and to chuckle at Cicero's savage roast of his opponents. She draws nuanced connections between themes in Latin literature and her varied interests. Not only does this student delight in the Latin language, but she also seizes every opportunity to promote Latin and the classical world outside the classroom. As the newly elected president of the Ohio Junior Classical League and longtime executive board member of the Seven Hills Latin Club, she drafts ambitious agenda and guides members, new and old, to state and national conventions, where she herself is a decorated veteran. In honor of her intellectual achievements and unwavering commitment to and boundless enthusiasm for Latin, the World Language Department awards the 2021 Latin Award to Jenny Hu. And finally, the Spanish Award. This year's Spanish Award recipient is distinguished by her sharp intellect and unwavering control of the language. She has characterized herself as a disciplined learner. Day in and day out, she works tirelessly to learn, command, and embrace the nuances that languages pose to learners. Right away, she differentiated herself in her AP language course for her participation and her speaking and writing skills to discuss AP themes such as world challenges and science and technology. As she explored the world of Spanish literature, she quickly found success. Her exceptional talent to understand and decode Borges' use of labyrinths and cyclical time and magical realism is breathtaking. Her writing is marvelous, and whether she is writing about the parallel worlds in Julio Cortázar's short stories, or the importance of female protagonists in Pedro Almodóvar's Spanish cinema, she crafts and articulates passionate essays. Her points are always incredibly illuminating and beautifully descriptive. While her humbling ways might give off a relaxed vibe, she is constantly making connections between prose and poetry, literature and language. Every year she has become stronger and stronger in her language abilities, and there is no doubt that she will use her talents to make a change in the world. For her commitment, conscientious work, and love of the language, the World Language Department awards the 2021 Spanish Award to Emma Cohen.
All right. Much like your school day, once your academics are done, we get to play. My name is Scott Willard. I serve as your athletic director and at times a coach and at times a teacher. One of the things I talk to my players about when I was coaching and our coaches as an athletic director is how you deal with adversity. Adversity doesn't build character, it reveals it. And how you guys handled this past year and a quarter was a revelation to our department and really the entire school. It's easy when you're up and you're winning to high five. When you deal with adversity and with you guys, all the rules you had to go through, all the restrictions, the delays, the postponements, you guys handled it incredibly, and we are so proud of you as a department. Some examples just this spring on how you guys crushed it. We had a freshman last week whoop up on the entire state in tennis, finished third, and just today was named first team All-State. We had a girls lacrosse team whose banner in the gym doesn't have a single year on it. Yet this year, amongst all the adversity, they won their first MVC championship, and we're going to put a 21 up in there this summer. Just this spring, we had conference titles in girls lacrosse, boys tennis, and we have track athletes right now, and baseball, excuse me. We have track athletes right now, Abby Heck in the 400, Drew in the 3200, competing tomorrow for a state title. We have a junior in Mackenzie Hartman who qualified for 4 events for Friday and Saturday to compete and represent our school. They looked adversity in the face and they are still literally running through it. So on behalf of our department, a huge congratulations to all you guys for what you've done this last year and a quarter. Give it up. I'd like to start our athletic awards by bringing up our 12 seasoned student athletes. I'm going to call your name, come on up when it's called, and you'll receive a watch that is provided by our boosters. Certainly appreciate their support. First up, George Hausberger, Zachary Domet, Joe Moses, Holly Weisfelder, and Caroline Ralph. Give it up. Academics gets a table and I get a box. George is a little hobbled at the moment, but Joe will take the award for him. Next up, the Dick Snyder Sportsmanship Award. This is given each season to an athlete from each of the MVC schools who displays integrity and good sportsmanship. The award is named in honor of our very own retired athletic director who has served this school and the MVC for over 40 years. Because we have yet to receive this award from the conference, can this year's recipient simply stand to be recognized? This year's Spring Season Award goes to sophomore Julia Tamai. Give it up for Julie. Great job. In the interest of time for the rest of our awards, I will announce the award winners first, and while they're walking up, I will proceed to embarrass them by detailing the award and their accomplishments. Our Scholar Athlete Award is up next. Our female and male Scholar Athletes of the Year are Meg Yuan and Owen Foster. Come on up. This award is presented by the Ohio High School Athletic Association to a senior female and senior male who have attained academic excellence while participating in interscholastic athletics and have earned a minimum of 4 varsity letters. Meg earned her letters in volleyball, while Owen earned his in lacrosse, while each earning ridiculously high GPAs during their careers. Congratulations to Meg and Owen. Next up, the Eleanor Shear Mosier Award. This year's winner of the Eleanor Shear Mosier Award is Ryan Metter. Come on up, Ryan. This award is named for Eleanor Shear Mosier, who graduated from Hillsdale in 1957. Eleanor epitomized good sportsmanship and playing to the best of one's ability while encouraging both teammates and opponents. This award goes to a sophomore or junior who consistently demonstrates good sportsmanship and school spirit while excelling in athletics. Ryan is a three-sport athlete competing in soccer, basketball, and baseball. This young man is consistently giving high fives, motivating his teammates, playing all out, and always respecting his opponents. Congratulations, Ryan. Next up, the Archie Griffin Sportsmanship Awards. This award is named for the two-time Heisman Trophy winner, Archie Griffin, and is presented to two students who have been outstanding in their efforts to promote sportsmanship in their school and the community. Our first award winner this year is Caroline Ralph. Come on up. Caroline is a three-sport athlete in soccer, basketball, and lacrosse. Coach McElray said this award, quote, seems to have been made for Caroline. She is one of the most positive people I have ever met. Even though she is a competitor, she never loses sight of the ultimate goal, respecting those around her and the game. Congratulations, Caroline. Our second award winner this year is Eli Dowards. Give it up for Eli. Eli is a three-sport athlete in soccer, basketball, and baseball. Coach Francis said that, quote, Eli managed to strike the right balance between competitiveness and sportsmanship, playing the game as it should be played. He never fails to put the needs of the team above his own. He is always willing to shift position, help a teammate, or do anything that might help the team do better. Congratulations, Eli. He walks really slow. All right, last up, Athletes of the Year. This award is nominated and voted on by our own Seven Hills coaches. Ladies first, our female athlete of the year is Shreya Killaru. In her career playing soccer, basketball, and most recently lacrosse, Shreya has been recognized as Team MVP in 3 different sports, MVC First Team in 3 different sports, Cincinnati Enquirer First Team, All Region, All City recognition. In her free time, she managed to actually study to the tune of earning MVC All Academic all 4 years and Southwest Ohio Soccer Coaches recognition of academic excellence. Coach McElray summed it up well when she said, quote, Shreya is the total package. Talented athlete, fierce competitor, dedicated teammate, and tireless worker. She will do anything her team needs, whether it's diving on the floor for a loose ball, guarding the tallest girl on the other team, or getting absolutely run over repeatedly while taking charges. Coach Bowman added that Shreya puts in the extra time to get better and excels in all she does. She is confident and strong and has the inner desire to succeed. She is a great example of a well-rounded athlete and very deserving of the Female Athlete of the Year award. Congratulations on your incredible career. All right, last up, Male Athlete of the Year. This year's Male Athlete of the Year award goes to Griffin Callow. Come on up, Griff. In his career playing soccer, basketball, and lacrosse, Griffin has been recognized as Team MVP, Team Captain as a sophomore, MVC First Team, Cincinnati Enquirer Second Team, and First Team All-Region, MVC All-Academic, all 4 years. Coach Francis stated, "You can rely on Griff to work hard, listen to feedback, and put forth maximum effort at all times. For these reasons and more, he was an easy choice as captain this past year. He leads with enthusiasm, encourages his teammates to do their best, and most importantly, sets a strong example for everyone to follow." Coach Baverso stated that Griff has set the standard what it means to be a Seven Hills lacrosse player. His innate leadership abilities were on full display during this unique season. Griff's ability to develop confidence in his teammates through positive interactions will be something that will benefit the Seven Hills lacrosse team for years to come. Please join me in congratulating Griffin Callow as this year's Male Athlete of the Year. Lastly, I will not be at Charles' graduation tomorrow night because I will be up at the track state finals. On our Instagram feed and social media, I'll take pictures and videos as best I can. So please support our 3 runners that are still competing. Thank you.
What's up, Stinger Nation? This is Annie and Caroline with Awards Day. Each year, the student government is tasked to choose a distinguished recipient of the Student Government Award. This award honors a teacher whose contributions have gone above and beyond to help add to our vibrant Seven Hills community.
To start, we would like to take a moment to recognize all of our outstanding teachers who had to learn to adapt and be flexible in the most unexpected and uncertain times. The classroom setting looked different this year. Our teachers had to adjust to teaching an in-person audience as well as the wonderful world of Zoom. To say this year wasn't easy is an understatement. It was hard and required tremendous perseverance, patience, and leadership that all of the teachers embodied. We are beyond grateful for the dedication, time, and care that our teachers put into our lives inside and outside of the classroom. Won't you please join us in giving a round of applause to our terrific teachers?
Now, we would like to recognize a specific individual for all of her hard work, compassion, and commitment to Seven Hills. When asked to describe this teacher, her students first expressed their excitement and enthusiasm about the fact that this teacher was being recognized for her impressive work. They then commented on her professionalism, dedication, consistent organization, and caring personality, but above all, her incredible patience and love for teaching. One student says, "She always gives us her full attention, no matter what. She takes the time to fully answer questions and never gets frustrated with anyone." Another student says, "Year after year, I've shown up to her class knowing I was in the hands of one of the best teachers out there."
These student comments only solidified and supported our decision to give this teacher the Student Government Award. With over 20 years of teaching at Seven Hills, we are exceptionally proud and thrilled to present this award to Madame Griep. Madame Griep, thank you for all that you have done to make sure Seven Hills is a better place. You will truly be missed next year, and we wish you the best of luck in the future.
It's a little Horner again, wearing third hat for the day. I'm here to announce it's not a new announcement, but just to give everyone extra acknowledgement, the students who were inducted into the Cum Laude Society this year. Cum Laude is our honor society. The goals are to select and reinforce students who show excellence in the academic field, justice and honor in the very broadest sense in the classroom and applying what they learn in the classroom. And the national chapter assumes, they state explicitly, that we elect students who have demonstrated good character, honor, and integrity in all aspects of their school life. In addition to being just good at the mechanics of school, we're looking for people who are caring for scholarship on their own account and also in spreading knowledge and helping their classmates learn better too. The organization, as a national organization, has existed since 1906. Seven Hills has had a chapter since 1974, and the Hillsdale campus since at least 1942. We have records back that far, so this is a very long-standing organization. And it's a very highly selective organization. There are 382 chapters in the entire world, and fewer than 1% of the high schools in the US are permitted to have a chapter, and we have one of them. Each year, we can elect no more than 10% of the junior class and 20% of the senior class, counting the ones who were elected as juniors. So last year, we elected some students who are currently seniors, and those students, I will read in a moment, but let me ask that all of you come up on stage. I guess we're trying to get everyone up, so just come up and line up here. If you would hold your applause, this will go much faster. So as soon as I've read your name, start walking up, and we'll get you all assembled, and then we can have a nice photograph of everyone all together, which we couldn't do because we didn't have a ceremony. So, current seniors who were inducted last year: Meg Yuan, Christina Torlone, Andrew Yang, Megan Tan, Kurt Drath, Catherine Kogan, Uma Shanai, David Kiley. We inducted another set of seniors this year: Grace Aria, Holly Weisfelder, Hannah Elleru, Wes Gardner, Annie Eisenhower, Charlie Ringel, and Carolyn Ralph. And we also inducted as juniors this year Jackie Ho, Ella Jo Piersma, Catherine Guo, Angel Young, Julia Moser, Allie Nathan, Sarah Krug, Jenny Hu, and Manan Vij. So here is your current Cum Laude Society.
Dr. Horner, yes? Could we have them kind of stand, like make a couple rows? We're in the balcony. We're going to take a photo. We're going to do a few rows. Could you make 2 rows?
Oh, 2 rows, okay. Wes, why don't you come over and kneel in front? Make a second row. Come over.
Yeah, everyone from West and who's in the wings come on. Stay down, is this looking more,
Yes, walk.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
So the following awards were decided on by the upper school faculty, and I'm going to read each of those. And I'd like to take a page from Coach Willard's book and say that once you hear your name, if your name comes kind of early in the award, why don't you start making your way over to here so you're in a position to come up onto stage. So we'll start with the Clement L. Banger Award. A highly organized and dedicated student whose GPA has risen every single semester of her high school career, this year's winner of the Banger Award is famous not only for her excellent work ethic, but also for her sunny approach to life, her resilience in the face of challenge, and maybe most of all for her empathy and kindness. There's a special grace in the way she listens to others, often hearing and responding to what is unsaid as well as to what's said. She makes others feel heard. She honors their trust in talking with her. And in the process, she creates community by bringing others in. She takes initiative, she follows through, she makes things happen, and she spreads good cheer along the way, a rare combination of qualities for anyone of any age. We're pleased to honor Savoy Lackey with the Clement L. Banger Award. The Seven Hills Personal Achievement Award, there's one for each grade level, and so I'll start with the ninth graders. One teacher describes this recipient as quiet, unassuming, and remarkable. He combines intellect and empathy in a way that makes him that rare kind of leader who lifts others beyond what they think they can do. He could easily dominate class discussions, but he never does. He generously gives others space to share their thoughts and encourages good thinking. He lifts others' intellect and attitude. He synthesizes his peers' ideas and adds his own in a sophisticated way that respects his classmates' contributions while honing it into razor-sharp insight. And he does this in every group discussion, every course, every day. There are not a lot of ninth graders who can make Seven Hills a better place with their essay writing, but the student we recognize today is surely one of them. His essays are a joy to read, not only because they're so technically excellent, but because his take on evidence is always nuanced and unique. He holds together sprawling analysis with strong organization and surgical transitions. Crazy good is how one teacher describes his writing. He lights out guitar playing and his lights out guitar playing and wealth of musical knowledge have left a mark in the upper school jazz band. And this award recipient has established himself as a pillar in the group from day one. It should come as no surprise that he volunteers to help play bass, keys, and guitar for the spring musical. His musical talent and dedication were invaluable. One of this year's ninth grade Personal Achievement Awards goes to quiet, unassuming, generous, mind-blowing, lights out Timmy Jordan. Come on up, Timmy. Also receiving the Seven Hills Ninth Grade Personal Achievement Award. It can be hard to be a new student at a school like ours, where some students begin in kindergarten or even before. Throw in the challenges of COVID protocols with masks and plexiglass at every turn, and it's even more difficult. Yet this new student has quickly become an integral member of the freshman class and the upper school as a whole. Hardworking, cheerful, respectful, and kind. This young man is described by one teacher as a model member of our class. He digs in willingly, regardless of the task. He is a leader in class discussions, but he never overpowers other voices. Teachers note that he's a phenomenal partner and group member. In the hallways, during free bells, and on the baseball diamond, it immediately becomes clear that he's equally beloved by his peers. His English teacher summed up a widespread opinion when she wrote, "I would love to populate a whole class with Stevens." Truly, we all agree. Stephen Elder, we are so glad that you have joined us at Seven Hills. You make our community a better place. Sophomore Personal Achievement Award. And again, there are 2 recipients for this award this year. Mahatma Gandhi said, "In a gentle way, you can shake the world." This year's 10th grade Personal Achievement Award recipient is a gentle and impactful catalyst of learning for the sophomore class. His teachers describe him as a quiet and humble leader. In science class, he's a pillar of the classroom community. He excels academically, but not in a way that is boastful, and he shares his hard-earned knowledge with his peers in a way that's generous and compassionate. This student shakes things up with his consistent and purposeful questioning, not only to understand the material for the sake of his own and his classmates' learning, but also to pursue a deeper understanding of the topic at hand. In Latin, he has a mind like a steel trap for remembering vocabulary and applying the rules of Latin grammar and syntax. He never skips a beat, questioning a Latin text over and over again until he's certain that he understands every single word and its meaning in the sentence. For his contributions to the classroom and his desire to push the limits of learning, the 2021 Sophomore Personal Achievement Award goes to George Mentrip. Again, the Sophomore Personal Achievement Award. The winner of the other Sophomore Personal Achievement Award this year is someone who goes out of her way to be supportive of her classmates and teachers. She's always the first to volunteer for any task or to offer help to others with whatever they are struggling with. People know they can rely on her. That is never in question. She helps to make sure that every part of a class is moving smoothly, whether that means reminding her friends to submit their work to Schoology, leading a discussion, being the catalyst for a conversation, or ensuring that Mr. Brott's Baby Yoda Chia Pet has enough water to continue growing. Gigi not only loves to learn, but loves to help others to learn. For a recent example of this, look no further than her role in co-moderating last month's Sophomore Symposium. For helping to make Seven Hills a better place on a daily basis, it's an honor to present the Sophomore Personal Achievement Award to Gigi Haugen. Junior Personal Achievement Award. Again, we'll have 2 recipients. A lot of remarkable people who are being recognized today. In class, this year's winner speaks with the same strong, clear voice, whether she's taking a swing at a difficult question or she's fairly and rightly challenging the status quo. And it doesn't matter who designed and constructed that status quo. She's a happy warrior with the character and courage to question peers and teachers alike if something is unclear or unfair. One of her teachers praised her for regularly putting a voice to questions that everyone in the room was thinking but hesitated to ask. If the educational objective behind the work is murky, she'll stop and ask why. Because she's brave enough to challenge the older voice at the front of the classroom and to publicly lay claim to an education for herself and for those around her. Her moral compass is as defined as her intellect, and she uses her quick wit to help her peers find their way if they happen to stray a bit. There's a thread, or maybe a halyard, that runs through the contributions this strong young woman has made and continues to make at Seven Hills. She's never afraid to speak the truth, but she does so with a sense of humor that serves to include rather than to alienate. Please join me in congratulating this year's Seven Hills Personal Achievement Award winner, Rosalie Hoare. The 11th grade Personal Achievement Award is also given to a student who has made Seven Hills a better place. Many students make this community better, but how many of us can say we would do so as a rectangle on a screen, 12 hours in the future? Angel Liang has been a remote student all year, but has had a profound impact on her classes. It can be technically challenging to work with a peer who is remote, but students clamored to work with Angel. She is focused and productive, and her peers know they'll benefit from her presence in their group. She's lighthearted when the moment calls for it, and has a kind smile for her more laid-back peers, but she models how to accomplish a goal. She treats others with the respect and dignity that they seek, even when she understands something more quickly than they might. In fact, she goes out of her way to teach them what she knows. She's made her teachers' lives more interesting through her curiosity. Angel stays after class on Zoom to ask questions that deepen her understanding and emails her thoughts on discussions simply to share ideas and receive feedback. She's an outstanding writer. In a poem for creative writing, Angel wrote, "I'm from the bravery to look for what I want. I'm from a mountain city, hot pot and roast meat, from the orange tree cultivated by my grandfather." Angel, you're also from Seven Hills, and we're so glad that you are. You have made us better without ever stepping foot on campus for much of this year. Imagine what you'll do next year when you can be with us in person. Congratulations, Angel. And the Senior Personal Achievement Award. This year's 12th grade Personal Achievement Award goes to Matthew Werg, a student who proves that positivity is not just a mindset, but also a lifestyle. If you need to find Matt, you usually just have to look for a group of students smiling and having fun. In this challenging, sometimes dreary year, Matt kept spirits high. He made school a more fun and engaging place, but not in a silly way, although Weather Wednesday was always a hit. His leadership was instrumental in the senior class and throughout the school. Matt talks to everyone. He connects a tremendous variety of groups and people across the school. He's a critical piece of the glue that binds us all together. He leads in the classroom by being an excellent student, and his leadership outside the classroom is equally impressive. His peers voted him into leadership positions in student government and in mock trial because he's earned their respect through working hard and being genuinely kind. So when the courtyard empties out for the final time this year and the Frisbee area and the spikeball courts go quiet, one of the enduring legacies of this year and of the last four will be Matt's authentically positive attitude that made Seven Hills a better place during his time here. Come on up, Matt. Sophomore Scholastic Achievement Award. This year's Sophomore Scholastic Achievement Award this year's recipient is distinguished not only by her dedication to intellectual pursuit, but also by her generous spirit. This student brings her characteristic curiosity and optimism in equal measure to every class, from instrumental to history, from English to chemistry. She seizes upon every opportunity to explore her interests, and even completed the introductory level of Chinese as an independent study so that she could study 2 languages at the same time in the upper school. As an executive board member of Latin Club and a decorated Kurtaman player, this student has dedicated countless lunches to practicing her craft and to coaching underclassmen to victory. She enjoys mentoring others so much that she and a group of friends founded a volunteer tutoring program for students all over Cincinnati during lockdown last spring. With her teachers, her peers, and her tutees, she selflessly shares her knowledge without any expectation for personal reward. In honor of her academic gifts, generous nature, and seemingly boundless optimism, the 10th grade Scholastic Achievement Award goes to Erin Finn. Citizenship Award. Through political activism, through programs designed to promote the status of girls and women, through music, even through jewelry making, the winner of this year's Citizenship Award gives herself to community and political causes with energy, intelligence, and creativity. She seeks out projects whose purposes she believes in, far more interested in the project's effect, the actual help it provides to those who need it, than in any recognition she might receive for having been part of the effort. In her work with Musical Connections, a nonprofit that serves people with disabilities through music therapy, she worked with all age groups, children, adolescents, and adults. She was the only student chosen to serve on the Hamilton County Commission on Women and Girls in their work to eliminate exclusion or restrictions made on the basis of sex and gender in Hamilton County. When the world shut down last spring because of COVID, she started an online jewelry making business and funneled proceeds to the National Coalition Against Domestic Violence because, as she explained, a big negative effect of the pandemic was big increases in domestic violence. She's been deeply involved in political activism, choosing local and national candidates and campaigns that support causes close to her heart. She has clocked hundreds of hours on online volunteer support and get out the vote phone calls in her efforts to assure that elected officials are committed to supporting the neediest in our communities. Her long record of exceptional achievement in multiple disciplines and the extension of her knowledge to benefit the larger community makes Jenny Hu the perfect recipient of this award. Congratulations, Jenny. Creativity and Original Thinking Award. This award is given to an independent thinker with an inquisitive and creative mind. This year's winner demonstrates both sides with aplomb. Inquisitivity. She asks questions, and probing questions at that, ones that come from a place of deep curiosity about how the world works and what we can do to change it. She attacks readings in English and history with a critical eye, drawing connections across subjects. As one teacher put it, she pushes assignments beyond what the teacher had imagined and always with joy. And she's creative. In one example of many, after reading a memoir about an Algerian immigrant's experience in French class, this student drew 3 colorful bouquets for her final project, one for each of the memoir's 3 parts. The sketches were stunning, but more remarkable was how she upstaged her visual artistry by explaining the significance of the various flowers and how each symbolized a different dimension of the author's experience. By the presentation's end, she had wowed the class with her artistry and given a comprehensive summary of the memoir's events and the author's evolution. It was unforgettable and a great illustration of why Elsa Lick is the deserving recipient of this year's Creativity Original Thinking Award. Community Scholar Award. Her academic exploration, this year's recipient combines academic coursework, independent scholarship, and community service, all in pursuit of her intellectual and personal passion, understanding and carrying the message about the Holocaust. Her academic exploration of the topic has been a deep, deep dive. Sophomore year, she wrote a research paper on Bernard Malamud and studied for a semester in Israel. Junior year, she designed her own independent study, Perspectives on the Holocaust, Second Generation and Beyond. The faculty member assigned to the course marvels at how much he has learned from her. For all along the way, her work has been outstanding, prize-winning even. She earned regional scholastic writing competition recognition both for a long journalism piece based on interviews with second-generation survivors and for her literary analysis of Jewish American literature. It's worth noting that she was one of only 4 students in the region to win prizes in both journalism and in a second category. In the community, she's a youth group leader for Jewish children ages 4 to 7 and teaches them a section of the Torah each week. Plus, she's on the board of the local affiliate of a national teen group, and she runs the group's events in Cincinnati. Here at school, she regularly brings her carefully developed perspective to discussions in English and history classes. She developed a TED Talk on the lasting legacy of the Holocaust, and she is planning, along with other Seven Hills students, a workshop on recognizing and stopping religious and racial microaggressions. She combines personal passion, academic inquiry, and community service. As she herself put it simply, "This is me doing what I want to do when I grow up." This year's Community Scholar Award has been earned by junior Lucy Schneider. The Neil Smith Scholarship. It's hard to know if this young man has ever had a bad day. He goes about life with a degree of positivity and goodwill that is infectious. Indeed, teachers remark that he lifts those around him, helps anyone who might be struggling, and calmly steers groups of students in the right direction. He's polite and respectful at all times to all people. You will not hear him above the crowd because he does his good work quietly, by example, and without the need for recognition. But we'd like to recognize him. This young man has a keen interest in engineering and has pursued this in various ways. Building an ornithopter for his challenge project. We didn't even know what that was, most of us. Designing and constructing a rubber band-powered airplane and a musical instrument for Science Olympiad. And now he's hoping to teach a STEM course to younger students in a church's after-school program, serving a low-income community for his Eagle Scout community service requirement. Clearly, this student makes the most of opportunities. To that end, he's doing a self-study in computer engineering because the course wouldn't fit his school schedule. Yes, he does a lot, but it's the way that he does everything that has earned him this award. His pleasant manner, willingness to help others, calm demeanor, easy smile, and positive attitude. It's our pleasure to award the Neil Smith Scholarship to Sebastian Rodriguez. Miriam Titcomb Award. The recipient of this year's Miriam Titcomb Award is powerful in her beliefs and her expression of them. She's an extraordinary and award-winning creative writer, demonstrating the ability to move between genres and tackle sensitive topics in original and effective ways. To quote one of her pieces of writing, "I felt roots grow out from myself and into the space around the people, and I laid claim to the right to call it my home." Not only has she made Seven Hills her home, but she's helped to make it home to those around her. Empathetic towards all, nurturing seems second nature to her. She's the ear and the shoulder for many peers in times of need. She's a strong voice for and a welcoming presence in the LGBTQ+ community at Seven Hills. From serving on the editorial staff of Tell Us Zine to her multi-year participation and leadership in Women Writing for a Change, and even learning to fire dance. This student's initiative and originality are demonstrated across her various activities, not only at Seven Hills, but in the broader community. Upper school luminary Mrs. Hepp describes her as the epitome of this award, genuine, honest, a terrific member of the Seven Hills community. She's the kind of student who makes you feel lucky to be her teacher. Her interest in learning is so genuine, her passion for the written word so unpretentious, and her generosity of spirit so effortless that you realize she's shaping the environment for student growth as much as you are. Congratulations to the winner of this year's Miriam Titcomb Award, Maya Martinez Diers. Ruth Russell Jones Award. This recipient of the Ruth Russell Jones Award has transformed himself inside and out and has grown so dramatically in study skills, work ethic, and genuine interest in learning that he's become a model for other students. He entered high school as a compliant but not always enthusiastic learner, but he's become a true star, described by his teachers as always very thoughtfully engaged during class, as one who both understands and thinks about the material. As consciously and intentionally as any student we've seen in years, he exercises the willpower to do what it takes to achieve his high goals, an accomplishment reflected in the spectacular skyrocketing of his GPA over the last 4 years. Max Maislin is so ready for college, and we are so proud of him. Congratulations, Max Maislin. The Carol Bristell Award. This year, the Carol Bristell Award goes to a senior who has exhibited enthusiasm, talent, and leadership during a challenging year, Annie Eisenhower. Annie wrote her senior research paper on the novelist Toni Morrison, and so she'd appreciate the advice that Morrison gives to her own students. When you get these jobs that you've been so brilliantly trained for, just remember that your real job is that if you are free, you need to free somebody else. If you have some power, then your job is to empower somebody else. We know that Annie will follow this advice, and then that in whatever jobs or responsibilities she takes on in college and beyond, she will use her power to empower others. In fact, we've already seen her do this here at Seven Hills. In the classroom, she's an enthusiastic participant who helps contribute to a sense of community and of shared purpose. As an athlete, she's a trusted leader, teammate, and role model. And as a student government member, she's helped to lead the school and to make this pandemic year as successful and as joyous as possible. Congratulations, Annie, on receiving the Carol Bristell Award. The Alumni Association Service Award. For several years, this student has spent countless hours volunteering for 2 different organizations that work to combat human trafficking in Nepal and India. Unfortunately, it's all too common for families in poverty-stricken areas of these and other countries to resort to sending young girls away, where they ultimately end up being trafficked. The only real hope is to break this cycle. The only real hope of breaking this cycle is to bring fiscal and educational resources to these areas. Because tourism is so essential to the economy in these countries, speaking English gives one a definite economic advantage. Beginning in his sophomore year, this student taught English to both women and children who are at risk of being trafficked, thereby providing financial opportunities and a chance at a better life. He now volunteers for a nonprofit organization, To the Ends of the Earth, which raises money to help survivors reintegrate into society and into stable lives. This past spring, he visited Nepal for the first time. He worked with partner organizations to set up businesses that will bring tourism to impoverished areas by providing activities in everything from adventure trekking to shopping. He says that meeting with survivors and hearing their horror stories firsthand was the hardest thing he's ever done, and he's forever changed by the experience. He's passionate about this work because he's seen injustice and cruelty that most people don't even know exists. His dedication to ending human trafficking and empowering the survivors is incredibly admirable when considering how difficult it would be to face such extreme injustice and terrible realities at any age, given such a young age. So John Humphrey, you are making a difference in this world, and you are an inspiration to us all. the Florence Fessenden Award. On the final pages of Albert Camus' The Plague, Dr. Bernard Roux reflects, "What we learn in time of pestilence is that there are more things to admire in men than to despise." This year's Fessenden winner, a student of the pandemic, inspires admiration. With unflagging optimism and determination, he excels in not just one discipline, but in all disciplines. A Renaissance man in our midst, Andy Yang moves hearts and minds across disciplines. When we listen to him play the violin with precision and compassion, we understand the lyricism of his prose in every paper he writes. When we see him solve complex math problems and write advanced computer programs with finesse, we understand and appreciate the logic and profound insights he humbly imparts in discussion of events and issues both historical and contemporary. He models all that we strive to inspire and shape at Seven Hills, and as Andy prepares to pursue a career in medicine, we know that he will maintain his keen understanding of all that it means to be human, even when humanity is in peril. Andy will accomplish what Camus envisioned when he said that we must refuse to bow down to pestilences and strive our utmost to be healers. Andrew Yang, we're confident that with your many gifts, you will be a healer in every sense of the word. Congratulations on winning the 2021 Florence Fessenden Award. Andy, don't go too far before you leave stage, just a sec. The Seven Hills Cup is awarded to the student with the highest overall GPA. This also goes to Andy Yang, and I can't top the words that we just spoke about Andy, but I'd just like to say that, Andy's high grades are not just a testament to what he's learned and what he's accomplished for himself, but to the presence that he's been in every class that he's taken part of. So Andy, come on back up. Congratulations again. So I'd like to congratulate all of the awards winners and to thank all of you, all of the students, the teachers, the parents for making this year as successful as possible and for making it a year that we'll really remember not just as a difficult one and a year of a pandemic, but also a year that was full of joy and accomplishments and fellowship and community. I'll say just a few words before I turn things over to the seniors for senior superlatives. So a couple of announcements. So at this point, for juniors who are either here in the shift or juniors who are off in your advisory locations, if all of the juniors could come down to the theater classroom, we have balloons to present to the seniors. So I'd ask you to get down to the classroom, grab a balloon, and we'll see you outside of the shift in just a few minutes. Juniors. We'll keep the seniors here because we have senior superlatives and other announcements. At the end of the announcements from Annie and Caroline, I'd ask everybody who received an award today, everybody who is on stage today, to come on up onto this stage so that we can take a group shot of all of you. We'll wear masks, we'll do this as quickly as possible, but we'd love to get everybody into one place for a photo. And with that, I'll turn things over to our fearless student leaders.
All right, guys, so what's up, Singer Nation? We're back, this time representing 7UP and not student government. And we are gonna do our senior superlatives. So in order to, speed the process along, we're gonna ask that we do not clap after each one, and also that the winners do not come up to get their award until the end. All right, so first up, we have Best Dressed, and that award goes to David Kiley.
We have Class Clown for Craig Shee.
Most likely to be a millionaire is Andrew Yang.
We have the Most Athletic as Abby Heck and Tim Kalin.
Best Duo goes to Bobby and Wesley.
And Best Couple That Never Was, Luke Malloy and Wes Gardner.
Most likely to be a model is Brooke Metter.
Most likely to be on Broadway, Audrey Howard.
Worst driver goes to Summer Jones.
Worst case of senioritis, Christina Torlone.
Biggest meme, Craig Chi.
Most likely to be president, Caroline Routh.
Most likely to be late to graduation, Bart Cooper.
Most likely to be mistaken for a freshman, Raya Vaughn.
Most likely to teach at Seven Hills, Molly Francis.
Best laugh, Emma Cohen.
Most likely to have their own talk show, Matt Warrick.
Most likely to work for the FBI, Wes.
Most likely to win the lottery but lose the ticket, John Allen.
Most likely to be an influencer, Brooke Metter.
Most likely to be high school sweethearts, Grace Aria and Owen Foster.
Biggest flirts, Griffin Callow and Elise Stevie.
Best glow up, Max Maislin.
And then most opinionated, Anna Oakham.
Congrats to everyone for winning. You guys can come up to the front to get these. All right, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you tomorrow for graduation. Yeah, I was like, sheesh.
Okay, let's get all the awards recipients up on stage for a photo. Come on up. If you were here on stage once before today, come on up again. Coming on stage for a photo. Yeah. Photo for anybody who received an award today. Come on up.